Hey guys, Tai Au here with Yamamoto baits. This year, as you guys know, in the fishing industry, there's a trend with fuzzy style baits. So we actually came out with a bunch of them this year that are proven catchers already. We've been testing these baits and man, do they catch them. It's just something that the fish haven't seen. A lot of guys haven't caught onto yet, so don't get behind. Starting off with actually one of my favorite, it's the fuzzy nut. Different, a lot of good catching colors, great smallmouth bait. What I like to do most of the time, I'm rigging this on a drop shot. Some guys are Nico rigging this with a really light weight just to get it in front of their faces using forward facing sonar. But again, this is a bait like this. The US Open last year was actually won on a bait like this. We got the Nuki series, small and big. I like to rig this weightless with a screw lock hook, fishing docks. Okay, you can throw it on a jig head, light Ned rig, lots of things you can do. Again, new bait. I'm sure you guys are going to figure out more ways to catch them. And then, of course, you got one of my favorites is the Senko, okay? Now, this is a 5-inch, 4-inch. You can wacky rig this, throw it on a free rig, Carolina rig, lots of things that you can do. Fish it weightless. Pros have known about this. It's a Japanese style. That's how I was introduced to the US. And again, make sure you guys pick some up. We're gonna have it at Copperstate Tackle, order online or at the store. So be sure to check them out. Introducing, everybody already knows Roboworm, but introducing the new colors that we have. We just took some of the existing colors that we have, made improvements, combined them. So let's go through them. First is Morning Margar Mutilator. And what it is, it's basically Morning Dawn mixed with Margarita Mutilator. Happens to be two of my favorite colors. And again, the another good favorite of mine is Morning Dawn Silver Flake. So it's little Morning Dawn, just like one of our actually #1 selling color, adding a little silver flake. I actually like silver flake during the winter months, okay? Everything that I throw during the winter months is gonna have some kind of silver in it, and that's where it shines for me, just because most of the fish are on shad, so you want a little silver flake in your bait. Oxblood Red Dawn color. So it's just oxblood with a red flake, and then you got a little bit of dawn color on the bottom. For you guys that like bull bluegill, I actually got another good one here. It's called Pumpkin Punisher. So it's just a little green, pumpkin, red flake, and then that neon green on the bottom. Great when the fish are keen on bluegills, the water is a little dirty. You want to show them something bright, different, that's the color to choose, okay? And then of course you got the Martin's Madness and everything that Roboworm has to offer. If you guys are looking for a good hook, rebarb, you still got them. Best hook in the industry to throw a Roboworm. We got the Hinge Minnow, okay? The key thing about this minnow is that bottom right there, and it has a wing that runs all the way on top. For you guys that don't know, the key thing to throwing a minnow is getting a bait to rock, okay? This bait is designed to do that. You want to use the weight that matches the depth that you're fishing. The key thing to throwing a minnow is here's a little quick tip for you. Make sure you guys are using a shorter rod. A lot of these guys are throwing a 6.5 to 7 foot rod. I like to throw it on a 6.8 K2 from Phoenix. It gives you more consistency. Throw it on a ball head that has a 90-degree on top. Make sure you're tying a loop knot, because again, everything's about consistency. And then the last piece of advice that I have for you is use a shorter leader from braid to a fluorocarbon to your jig head. And again, when you shake that, it gives it more consistency, a better roll. We got the 5-inch model, 4-inch model, and all the fish catching colors, the shad, and we also have a green pumpkin just in case you're on bluegill, okay? Make sure you guys check this out, because this bait rolls really well, and it's gonna catch you guys a lot of fish. Next thing is the uni. You know, I made a Facebook post about this the other day. I've been eating these lychee things since I was a little kid. Had no idea. We saw toys that looked like this. Had no idea that was going to be a good bait design. So these guys here, a lot of guys like to Nico rig this, and they're using forward-facing sonar to get this right in front of their fish, in their face, and it just entices them to bite. I don't know how it works or why it works, I should say, but it definitely does work. And again, don't fall behind. This is the latest and greatest technique to catching them, especially on highly pressured waters. Shad-shaped worm. There's certain days out here. This is where this bait shines. There's certain days out there that the fish don't want a bait with a lot of action. Okay, they want like a subtle bait. Think of it of throwing a Senko. Okay, on those high pressure days, you just want to show something that doesn't have a lot of movement. For example, the winter time is a good example. You just want to throw a bait with minimal action. This one is just a little wider, fatter version of the original shad-shaped worm. You can throw this on a drop shot. You can actually throw it just with a regular EWG style hook, or throw it on a jig head, and it can make a trailer on a small chatterbait. They just came out with the Z-Man mini jackhammer. This will be an awesome trailer for that as well. And then you got the Shinobi Grub, which they don't have it out. Let me show you here. We're gonna open up a package. This one isn't out. Oh, it's right here. I am blind. All right, so we got the little Shinobi Grub. Check that guy out, okay? Very subtle bait. Sometimes they don't want a big bait. This one will slither, you know, into vegetation. You're fishing sparse toolies. You can throw it on a jig head. Been trying this on a buzz bait. It works real well when you rig it flat. And then another key tip is you can actually rig it horizontal, throw it on a swim jig, and it's gonna have a little action back there for you. So very versatile bait. Make sure you guys check it out. It's called the Shinobi Grub. And then finally, what's the name of this guy? Where is it? Here. Yep. Okay. And again, same concept. This is the Yama Craw. This guy, again, is packaged in a way where you have to rip the top off. Okay, that keeps it from, you know, it gives you a more consistent action. Again, I love to flip. I love to pitch. You know, you want to throw this on about a 3/8 ounce weight. You can flip it on fluorocarbon, braid, punch. Again, very versatile bait. You can throw it on a swim jig, a jig if you want to tear off a little bit. Rig it on as a trailer. Again, one of the most versatile baits that we came out with this year. And on top of that, throw it on a buzzbait. Great buzzbait trailer as well, okay? Again, all the fish catching colors, it will be available at Copperstate. Since these are produced here, all these baits from Yamamoto are produced here in the United States. We're gonna have a little early for you, so I'm expecting our soft baits to be available sometime in September, October, and then the hard bait versions later in the year around October, November. My favorite, the DR24, I was finally able to post some of my fish catches at Saguaro Roosevelt. And the truth is, we've been testing this thing for over a year. So they actually sent me a couple different versions. And this guy right here, my favorite way to throw it is I just line up. This thing's gonna dive anywhere from 20 to 26 feet, depending how far you cast and what line poundage you're using. So I'll give you a tip, all right? If I'm throwing on a 16-pound test, it's gonna get down to about 20, 21. I like to set up my boat parallel to the bank at about 16, 17. I throw and I angle it out just a tad bit, because the key thing to throwing a crankbait is bottom contact. So when I do that and I cast straight out, once I hit the bottom, I'm gonna hit the bottom all the way back to the boat. If you don't do that, what happens is you throw it at a bank, it goes down, the bank's at a different angle, you're gonna lose bottom contact, you're just not gonna be as efficient with the bait. So that's how I throw a crankbait. the baby bubbler, okay? This is a fish catching style bait. The key thing that I look for, the conditions wise, I want there to be a little bit of ripple in the water, not too much. It really shines in those conditions right there. When it's glass calm, I do prefer a popper. You can try this too, but really, those are the conditions I throw it for. I just throw it on 30-pound braid and just cast out there, reel it. Awesome bait for those topwater bites when they want to go after something like that. Now, this is the Afterburner. Totally unique, original idea. Posted a video on Bill Lewis the other day about the different actions. You can just throw this out there. It burns in, has a little action, gives a little shine. Make sure you guys check that out. We're gonna have it at Copperstate as well. If you wanna follow me over here.
No, I don't want to worry, but is it available digitally?
We do have a few more different baits over on this section with Bill Lewis. And again, we got the hammer trap, we got the depth strike. This guy right here, I've been throwing it a lot at Lake Pleasant, going after the stripers. What I like about this bait is, you know, it looks little, but you can fire this thing a country mile. So right now, if they're eating shad on top, this bait is gonna allow you to cast all the way out there. And since it's a super clear lake, the key thing is you wanna fish lures fast. This is gonna allow you to do that. Those fish, you don't wanna give them time to look at your bait. When you cast it out there to where they're at and reel it fast, they can't get a good look at it, they just bite it. So that's how I'll be catching the stripers at Lake Pleasant. And of course, you got the scope stick. Let me give you guys a little quick tip on the scope stick, okay? Now, I personally like the bigger one better because I can cast it better and it has more drawing power than the small one. Sometimes the small one, I have to throw that when they're on smaller baits, like example, fall. During the fall, all the shad had, say, hatched from earlier that year. Those fish are keyed in on little bait. But when I throw the scope stick, I look for a day that's a little off. You can see it on forward-facing sonar. When you throw it out there and you made a hard jerk and that fish runs away from your lure, that's when this the scope stick really shines. Because when you pop, it has more of a lazy cadence. It's not as sharp and crisp. So again, you just want to have that in your arsenal just in case you're fishing a day that's a little off. That's where it really shines for me. And then, of course, you got the hammer trap. And I am excited about the knocking rattle trap. A couple of different sizes, 3/8 to 5/8. And it just, instead of having that loud, erratic rattle, it has a knock to it, okay? And again, the key thing to a good rattle trap is the sound. So a little bit more choices for you guys that fish different lakes throughout the year. Over here at Buckeye Lures, want to show you guys a new product for this year. It's the scope head, okay? Now, everybody who's thrown a minnow knows that the key thing is, once you get a fish to chase after your jig head, is to get that lure on top of the fish or keep it on top, but get it away from the fish. It's a lot more natural to them that way. This scope head is going to allow you to do that. So if you look right here, okay, it's cupped. What that allows your bait to do, it gives it a little bit more lift and it does rock the bait a little bit more when you work that lure as well. And then on top of that, one thing I do like about this particular style is the screw lock. When you rig it up, you twist it around, you actually go through a lot less baits as well, especially when you're on them and they're really biting the jig head good. You just don't waste a lot of money going through a bunch of baits, okay? And then just to show you guys some of the new spinner baits that we've came out with, the select spinner baits got various different sizes with blade combos, skirt combos. What I like about this bait, okay, is if you look at that, all right, that blade right there is pretty flexible. The key thing to selecting a good spinner bait is throwing one with a good wire size that's gonna allow the bait to vibrate. So when you throw a spinner bait out there, when you reel it in, you wanna feel the blade turning and the bait vibrating. This perfectly does that. This keeper right here, again, absolutely love it. you don't tear through as many trailers as you normally would, okay? I still throw mine. I'm old school. I like to throw this with a single tail Yamamoto Grub just to match up the spinnerbait that I'm throwing. And then this is a very innovative jig head. Okay, it's called the Piggyback. And again, all you do, how you rig this up, this sits on top of your bait. You wanna twist that on top of your bait, okay? Pinch up your bait and hook it onto the head right there. And again, the reason why we came out with this is we want that bait to roll when we work it. So great. It's a different style rigging that's going to show the bait, the fish a little something different that they normally don't see. So you guys can go ahead and play around with it. I'm sure you're going to find more ways to use that, but that's how I like to use it. Also, what we have available at the store is the G-Stro jig head. But let me show you guys the key feature on this, okay? You want that 90-degree head. You still want to tie a loop knot. It helps with consistency. We have the hook keeper. If you guys notice that, the tip to rigging your bait on here, you want to squeeze your bait flat, slide it up, and then let go, okay? It doesn't eat up as much plastic that way, and you get a stronger hold or bond with that keeper. Here's another bait from Buckeye that's a little different. It's called the bubbler blade. So this guy is almost like a spinner bait, almost like a buzz bait. You can really throw it anywhere. And this blade is going to cause commotion on the surface. And again, you fish it like a buzz bait and a spinner bait. You just pretty much throw it anywhere. You can throw it on dock cables, whatever. It'll get through a lot of stuff. It doesn't have troubles where it'll hang up on a lot of things neither. So try that out. Got a bluegill pattern, we got shad patterns. And again, just the ability to show the fish something they've never seen. And we're gonna have that available at Copperstate